We are hurtling through the cosmos today and looking under the box cover of Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition. So one of the first things you'll notice about Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition is the number of cubes in the game. There are lots of counting cubes, and of course, because we are in anti-gravity mode, things float around and zip up to us. Like the cubes, they just zip right up, and here's a whole bunch. We have a lot of these brown ones, and they just suck right up. They're floating right up with that anti-gravity, but lots of great counting cubes. We've got the grays there as well. We've got yellows that just bounce right up to us. And of course the greens for the different player, obviously the different player colors as well. And very useful and perfectly workable and usable cubes there as well. We've got the red coming in, of course. And they just, I tell you, that gravity, anti-gravity just floating around there. It's amazing. Works so great. I find really all the components in this game have been very solid. Now, one thing the game does add in as well are these very handy containers with lids on. You can use them for, it's a fantastic storage device. There's two of them, and they fit very nicely into the game board. I was very impressed with the game as far as what it offers inside the box as far as extras, and we're going to get to that later, but that was one right there. So we're taking a look at the cards here real quick. Very colorful, beautiful looking visuals on the cards. They look really sharp. Lots of cards in this deck in this game as well. There are a lot of cards to go through in this game that you're gonna be able to go through. And there's another set of cards we're looking at. Lots of detail, lots of iconography to help us sort out different card status. And then we have the research, production, action, construction phase cards, and of course those are the different phases. And so those are for each player. Really nice artwork on both sides. They look really sharp. Oh. And of course, when we're done with the cards, I'm a big fan of rewrapping them in the cellophane they came in. I find getting the edges and the creases right a little bit tricky, but you know what? When you just take a little time with it, little elbow grease, it'll just go together beautifully. I have my trusty assistant Jack there helping me as well. There's another excellent bonus they added in are these wonderful little foam pieces there for dividers, for keeping the cards kind of intact and keeping them sort of in so they don't fall over. And then of course they have these great corporation, phase, project, divider cards, along with of course turn cards that help you understand the different action phases of the game. So really, the creators, the designers of this game, really tip of the cap here to all the different parts they thought of. So the player aids, very helpful. Those corporation, those dividers for once you, if you choose to keep your cards out of the cellophane, then you can use those as great dividers and in the game box itself. So that's an awesome. Just an awesome little extra add-on that didn't have to be in there, but really helps with your board game storage. So I like to put the cubes all back into one big storage containing one Ziploc baggie, keeping them all nice and organized there. There's the red and the yellow going back in. Keep them all nice and organized. And then we come to the chits. The chits of the game are, again, really colorful, serviceable. They look great. And I do like keeping them back in the punch-out, of course. So I often do a little trick where I just put my finger through, and because we're in anti-gravity mode, they just leap right up and hop right back into that the cardboard cutouts there. So that's really great. And those pieces they work just fine, and there's not very many of them, but there is enough that we've got to make sure that they are nice and flattened in the punch-out container. Again, some nice artwork on the chits as well. They look just fine. And then we have, of course, the production. And here's where I just point my finger, and these guys just love to leap right up to it. It's kind of an amazing trick that I do. It's I'll tell you, it's a great parlor trick. More chits there that we're just taking a little look at. Oh yeah, the kids get the real kick out of that old finger trick. Just watch how it just shuts on me. We got action. We got construction phase 2, and of course, Jack wanted to help out with the last one. I couldn't say no. Development for phase 1. So those are the chits in the game. Taking a look at the game board, very simple game board. Not a lot to it really. We've got the interior where of course your main chits are going to go, and then now the player boards. Inset player boards, very kind of a unique. I don't play with a lot of these kinds of games, so that was kind of cool to have that kind of style. Now the rules. So getting on to the rules here, they added a few little elements in here I did want to point out with the rules that I thought were kind of neat. So they've got the game overview, of course, but if you look in here, they've got novice, advanced, and expert mode for gameplay, and that's for the solo game. So you have 3 levels of options for solo gaming. They also have a 2-player co-op mode where you can play cooperatively, which is kind of a neat variation on the game if you choose to go down that path. I found the rulebook to be just awesome. Actually, it was really great. Lots of great colorful pictures, lots of detail in it, lots of examples, and easy to read, easy to understand. So that was no problem at all. There's the gameplay, of course, and it's got the 3 different phases. And yeah, all in all, it was just a really. It's no brain burner of a rule book. So that's going to be helpful. So that's the rule book there for Ares Expedition. Of course, we like to just set that right on top. And then, of course, we've got to shut that box down on Ares Expedition. Now, I like to crinkle my cellophane wrap up before I put it back on the box, and that's just kind of a tradition I have. And now Jack he's an expert. He knows exactly where each piece goes that we took off, and he just replaces it beautifully. You can see the expert care that he's putting into it. And I just give Jack a total tip of the cap here. Getting those corners can be very tough, but teamwork does it. So there you have Ares Expedition from Terraforming Mars. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was informative. This has been Legendary Tactics.